Okay. Shh. The Lorax by Dr. Seuss. You see a little picture? I love this. Okay. The Lorax. Just don't make me laugh. Don't make me laugh. It's a serious book reading time. I got first book jitters right now. 12 o'clock at night for Korea. A good time for book reading then, yes. Relax in bed. Soothing, annoying little voice reading you a book. Okay, let's begin. Okay. Deep breaths. I have stage fright. Now, before I start, let me just say that I'm not good at reading books, so I hope you aren't expecting much from this. But I just thought this was something fun I could do. Okay. The Lorax by Dr. Seuss. At the okay. At the far end of town, where the Let me turn up my bitrate so I could see. That's better. Kind of. At the far end of town, where the grickle grass grows, and the wind smells slow and sour when it blows, and no birds ever sing, excepting old crows, is the street of the lifted Lorax. And deep in the grickle grass, some people say, if you look deep enough, you can still see today where the Lorax once stood, just as long as it could, before somebody lifted the Lorax away. Yeah, pictures. What was the Lorax, and why was it there? And why was it lifted and taken somewhere? From the far end of town where the grickle grass grows. The old Onceler still lives here. Ask him, he knows. You won't see the Onceler, don't knock at his door. He stays in this lurkin, cold under the roof, where he makes his own clothes out of the muffled moof. And on special dank midnights in August, he peeks out of the shadows, and sometimes he speaks, and tells how the Lorax was lifted away. He'll tell you, perhaps, if you're willing to pay. On the end of a rope, he lets down a tin pail, and you have to toss in 15 cents and a nail, and the shell of a great-great-great-grandfather snail. Then he pulls up the pail, makes a most careful count, to see if you've paid him the proper amount. Then he hides what you paid him away in his snoove, his secret strange hole in his groovulous glove. Grovulous glove. Then he grunts, "I will call you by whisper my phone, for the secrets I tell are for your ears alone." Slap! Down slaps the whisper muffone to your ear, and the old onceler's whispers are not very clear, since they have to come down through the snurgly hose, and he sounds as if he had smallish bees up his nose. "Now I'll tell you," he says, with his teeth sounding grey, "how the Lorax got lifted and taken away. It all started way back. Such a long, long time back." Way back in the days, when the grass was still green, and the pond still wet, and the clouds were still clean, and the song of the swami swans rang out in space, one morning I came to this glorious place. And I first saw the trees, the truffula trees, the bright-coloured tufts of the truffula trees, mile after mile in the fresh morning breeze. And under the trees I saw brown barbaloots frisking about in their barbaloot suits, as they played in the shade and ate truffula fruits. From the ripulous pond came the comfortable sound of the humming, fish humming, while splashing around. But those truffula trees, all my life I'd been searching for those trees, such as these. The touch of their tufts were much softer than silk, and they had the sweet smell of fresh buttery milk. I felt a great leaping of joy in my heart. I knew just what I'd do. I unloaded my cart. In no time at all, I had built a small shop. Then I chopped down the truffula trees with one chop. And with great skillful skill, and with great speedy speed, I took the soft tuft, and I knitted a thneed. What could he possibly be doing? The instant I'd finished, I heard a gazump. I looked, I saw something pop out of a stump of the tree I'd chopped down. It was sort of a man. Describe him? That's hard. I don't know if I can. He was shortish and oldish and brownish and mosey, and he spoke with a voice that was sharpish and bossy. "Mister," he said with a sawdusty sneeze, "I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees. I speak for the trees have no tongues. And I'm asking you, sir, at the top of my lungs." He was very upset as he shouted and puffed, "What's that thing you've made out of my truffula tuft?" "Look, Lorax," I said, "there's no cause for alarm. I chopped just one tree. I am doing no harm. I'm being quite useful. This thing is a thneed. A thneed's a fine something that all people need. It's a shirt, it's a sock, it's a glove, it's a hat. But it has other uses, yes. far beyond that. You can use it for carpets, for pillows, for sheets, or curtains, or covers for bicycle seats. The Lorax said, "Sir, you are crazy with greed. There is no one on earth who would buy that fool's need." "I repeat," cried the Lorax, "I speak for the trees." "I'm busy," I told him. "Shut up if you please." I rushed across the room, and in no time at all, built a radio phone. I put in a quick call. I called all my brothers and uncles and aunts, and I said, "Listen here, here's a wonderful chance for the whole Onceler family to get mighty rich. Get over here fast, take the road to the north niche. Turn left at Weehawken, sharp right at South Stitch." And in no time at all, in the factory I built, the whole Onceler family was working full tilt. We were all knitting needs, just as busy as bees, to the sound of the chopping of the truffle trees. Then, oh baby, oh, how my business did grow. Now chopping one tree at a time was too slow. So I quickly invented my super axe hacker, which whacked off 4 truffle trees at one smacker. We were making needs 4 times as fast as before, and the Lorax, he didn't show up anymore. But the next week he knocked on my new office door. He snapped, "I am the Lorax, who speaks for the trees, which you seem to be chopping as fast as you please. But I'm also in charge of that brown barbaloots, who played in the shade in their barbaloot suits, and happily lived eating truffle fruits. Now, thanks to your hacking my trees to the ground, there's not enough truffle fruits to go round, and my poor barbaloots are all getting the crummies, because they have gas and no food in their tummies. They loved living here, but I can't let them stay. They'll have to find food, and I hope that they may. Good luck, boys," he cried, and he sent them away. I, the Onceler, felt sad as I watched them all go, but business is business, and business must grow, regardless of crummies in tummies, you know. I mean no harm. I most truly did not. But I had to grow bigger, so bigger I got. I bigged my factory, I bigged my roads, I bigged my wagons, I bigged my loads. Of the needs I shipped out, I was shipping them forth to the south, the east, to the west, to the north. I went right on beginning, selling more needs, and I bigged my money, which everyone needs. Then again he came back. I was firing some pipes when that old nuisance of the Lorax came back with more gripes. "I am the Lorax," he coughed and he whiffed. He sneezed and he snuffled, he snagged, he sniffed. "One slur," he cried with the crofulous croak. "One slur, you're making such a smogulous smoke. My poor swami swans, why, they can't sing a note. No one can sing who has smog in his throat." "And so," said the Lorax, "please pardon my cough. They cannot live here, so I'm sending them off." Where will they go? I don't hopefully know. They may have to fly for a month or a year to escape from the smog you've smugged up around here. What's more, snapped the Lorax. His dander was up. Let me say a few words about Gluppity Glup. Your machinery chugs on day and night without stop, making Gluppity Glup, also Schloppity Schlop. And what do you do with this leftover goo? I'll show you, you dirty old once-la man, you. You're glumping the pond where the humming fish hummed. No more can they hum, for their gills are all gummed. So I'm sending them off. Oh, their future is dreary. They'll walk on their fins to get woefully weary, in search of some water that isn't so smeary. And then I got mad. I got terribly mad. I yelled at the Lorax, "Now listen here, Dad. All you do is yap yap, and you say bad, 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 bad. Well, I have my rights, sir, and I'm telling you, I intend to go on doing just what I do. And for your information, you Lorax, I'm figuring on biggering. And biggering, and biggering, and biggering. Turning more truffler trees into the needs, which everyone needs. Everyone needs." And at that very moment, we heard a loud whack. From outside in the field came a sickening smack of an axe on a tree. Then we heard the tree fall, the very last truffler tree of them all. No more trees, no more needs, no more work to be done. So in no time, my uncles and aunts, everyone, all waved me goodbye. They jumped into my cars and drove away under the smoke. Smothered stars. Now all that was left, 'neath the bad-smelling sky, was my big empty factory, the Lorax, and I. But Lorax said nothing, just gave me a glance. Just gave me a very sad, backwards glance, as he lifted himself by the seat of his pants. I'll never forget the grim look on his face when when he stood himself and took leave of this place, for a hold in the smug without leaving a trace. And all that the Lorax left here in this mess was a small pile of rocks with the one word, unless. Whatever that means, well, I just couldn't guess. That was long, long ago, but each day since that day, I've sat here and worried away. Through the years, while my buildings have fallen apart, I've worried about it with all of my heart. But now, says the once-let, now that you're here, the word of the Lorax seems perfectly clear. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better, it's not. So, catch, calls the once-let. He lets something fall. It's a truffler seed. It's the last one of all. You're in charge of the last of the truffle trees seeds, and truffle trees are what everyone needs. Plant a new truffler, treat it with care, give it clean water, and feed it fresh air. Grow a forest, protect it from axes that hack. Then the Lorax and all of his friends may come back. The end. I hope you enjoyed the Lorax, the book. I did enjoy reading it. It has a great hook. I hope you guys are enjoying. Do you wanna maybe have a discussion about the first book? Any thoughts? Any thoughts on what we read? They're very interesting. The Onceler, he learned his lesson at the end. He cut down too many trees. The message of the story seemed to be, don't cut down trees. Something like that. Something like nature? Nature is good. Smoke factories. The industrial revolution has many consequences. Killing the earth, destroying nature,